Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, my name is Elena. I'm the homeschooling mama to 3. And here on the channel, we talk about everything from homeschooling to homemaking, all the things in between. We're gonna dive in what I hope to do. I already did decorate the month of November. I just needed to get in here and get some stuff down. And then I did the first week. The first week was the end of October, the beginning of this week. So I haven't done this upcoming week here. This is just the meal plan for the week. I just put it in there. The back is this is family meal plan. I'm trying to go too quickly, I think, for myself. The back part here is the meal preps that I want to do for my macro counts. So I was just using a scrap piece of paper here. This is from a Happy Planner notepad when I used to sell those. And I just folded it. The back side is some quick little recipes for the meal plan. So I just stuck that in there because I got that done, but I don't know if that'll stay in there. My hope for right now, for today, is to get this week plotted out, but also to go back into November. And this sheet here, I put 2 pages, 2 different kind of layouts together to make this planner. I will try to link the video if I can find it down in the description box so you can see when I did that. But this, I really liked this setup, set goals for the month. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break down what my goals were and then get them plotted in here. So like most months, I have no rhyme or reason yet to how we're gonna put this together. I just know we're gonna do it. Let's see. So here we have set a goal, 3 ways I expect to achieve this goal, what worked last month, and how can I carry out those strategies into this goal. So you have space for 2, and then just for things here that you could use. I'm assuming for like brain dump or really whatever you wanted. 1 month, the last couple of months actually, I have used it for bills, just to keep track of the monthly bills to pay, utilities, rent, that kind of thing. So I think I really like that. So we'll for sure use 1 square for that. There are 1, 2, 3, about 4 weeks of November left. So we could use 1 for each week as a brain dump. But the first things that I want to get in is the goals that I set. So I set more than 2, but there are 2 bigger ones, I guess, that will help me reach the other ones. In my planner, I have a section for like health and wellness. So I'm not going to put that here. 1 month, I think I did do that in this section. But for this month, I think I'm going to use this one for finances and this one for the home. And that's going to include the cleaning, decluttering, that kind of stuff. So first though, for our finances, the goal is to stick to the budget and create a budget and stick to it essentially. So let's see. It's always fun to have a little sticker motivation in here, I think. So let's do, no money, no dumplings. That's cute. Let's see, save money. That's like a habit tracker, bill due, weekly budget. There's a lot of more habit trackers. Okay. So part 1 is, so part 1 is to create the budget and stick to it. And then, sorry, do need to be scooted in a little closer. 3 ways I expect to achieve this goal. So I need to do weekly check-ins for sure. Weekly check-ins, and that means going into my budget and taking a look at where we're at, where we're spending too much, too little, that kind of thing. Weekly check-ins, and then we need to do the budget meeting. That just means working with my husband so that we're both on the same page. So weekly check-ins is more for me to take a look at. I handle most of the finances, so for me to look at it, and when I say I handle most of the finances, it means that I'm the one is crunching the numbers and putting things on paper and things like that into the spreadsheets, all the fun stuff. And then budget meeting is where we talk over what our choices are and what we need to do or what we'd like to do, and make our bigger decisions together. So weekly check-ins, budget meeting, and then I really think those two things are the two major things. I don't even think that there's 3 steps. If I can get those 2 steps down, which has littler steps in it, that'll be okay. So let's put, I think these stickers are adorable, but they all like such sad connotations to them. Like they're so sad because they have to pay bills, and she like, everything is so sad. I'm like, well, I don't want to go into like my money with that mindset. I want to just be like, yeah, okay, we're doing the thing and it's okay. Let's see. See, like all the bills, she's like sad. And I mean, I know no one's happy to have bills, but I don't know. Let's go into it feeling accomplished, maybe. Okay, let's see. Maybe one of these little dudes. And then what worked last month and how can I carry out those strategies into this goal? What worked last month? Well, not really last month, but I have been thinking a lot about when we were on top of our budget game, and the time that we were most on top of our budget was actually when we made the least. And that's probably because we made the least and we had very little wiggle room. But that is also the time that we became debt free, which was amazing. And so now we're in this place where we've been trying for years to save up for a down payment. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that every time we save up a little bit, and it's not a huge amount, but every time we seem to save up even just a little, something happens, and that just kind of is the way it goes. But that's okay, because then clearly that money was earmarked by God for something else. So I was been thinking back though about when we were on top of our budget game and what were the things that I was doing and why we were so on top of it. I think one of the major reasons, or one of the big things that helped, was having a community. There was a whole big debt-free community that was happening, and it felt smaller than it is now. It was, I don't know, it just felt friendlier and smaller, and now it just, I don't know what happened. So let's see. How do I want to parlay all of that though into this? Maybe what I'll do is just put some buzzwords here for me. So we had community. So other people trying to obtain the same goal that we were, or similar goals. So that means communicate, goals. What else? Make it fun. So we had charts, and I know that doesn't always sound fun to people, but when I say we had charts, we had like coloring charts, and we had them every time we paid something off, we would put in a little square or something like that, and then we could physically or visibly see our goals happening. And so just little games we were playing with ourselves where we were like, okay, how little can we spend, or how many days can we really stick to it? Things like that. So I'm going to put there involve family, because the kids can visibly see now, especially my teen. He's old enough to start really honing in and taking care of his money matters, which is on our list of long-term goals to work more on with him. We've worked with him so far, but to do a little bit more. Both my husband and I come from a family where money budgets wasn't discussed, so we both kind of went in semi-blindly and didn't really know the ins and outs of how to budget and things like that, and we really had to learn on our own. And so we want to give our kids the biggest head start that they can have and start teaching them young about budgeting and things like that. I think that budgeting has a bad connotation where you can think that budget is a bad word, but it doesn't have to be. Having a budget just gives you freedom to spend and know how much you have to spend. And so that almost like a safety net, I guess. Like it just feels a little easier than I'm spending, and I don't have to worry that, oh, is this gonna clear? Is this gonna make it through? Am I gonna get dinged for not having enough money? Because when I have a budget, I have the set amount and I know what I have to spend. I hope that makes sense. And the budget meeting doesn't have to be super formal. It could just be sitting down and as we're eating dinner or whatever, talk about here's where we're at, here's what we spent, here's what we need to get back to it. Okay, great. Any questions? Here's what I want to know, what to do with this, or when is this reimbursement coming in, or here's what we have to spend, blah, blah, blah. And then we're done. So my husband and I, during our time when we were trying to become debt-free, we would make our weekly budget meeting almost a date night, which I get, again, sounds kind of weird, but goes back to this debt-free community where we all were like trying to get, we all had money goals and we were all trying to get to our goals. And so we would sit down and we'd have a drink together, and then we'd like go over our budget, and when we were done, and we could sit down and watch a movie together. So I'm going to put that budget meeting down. And then aim for at least once for the rest of the week to get that done. So here I just put the budget binder in an easily accessible place to write our goals out. I already told you to involve family, and I think that should do it. I don't know. I really am having a hard time with it being such a sad connotation, but I don't want to waste the stickers. It says, look at all these bills, but maybe, I don't know, how do we fix this? Now, for the home, here's what we wanted to do. I wanted to clean to decorate. So the holiday season is upon us, and and then after holiday season, we personally roll into birthday season, or what we call birthday season, and I want to continue tidying up. We're already on a roll. So some of the things that I expect to achieve this goal is to get back to fly lady routines. I don't know, possibly do baby steps again. We'll see. I'm gonna put a question mark by that. I'm gonna write create declutter / organize areas, because some of the stuff has already been purged and decluttered. I'm sure we could always find more stuff, but some now just needs to be organized. So what I mean by create, declutter, organize areas is that I'm going to break down the house and figure out areas that are top priority. So right now I'm sitting at my desk and it really overwhelms me because it needs to be tidied. So those things need to be done. And but what happens is as I walk around the house, I'm like, oh, this needs to be done, that needs to be done, this area needs to be done, the pantry could be cleaned again. Oh, we should clean out the refrigerator. Oh, don't forget to give the bathrooms a quick tidy. And so Fly Lady really does a great job at breaking it down for you too. But there, in her routines, there are like, I think 2 or 1 sections during the day, times during the day, to do like a 15-minute declutter or 15-minute tidy. And so that's the areas I don't want to be distracted and be like, what area can I do when there's 20,000 areas that need to be cleaned and decluttered or tidied? I can just go to my list and say, okay, today I'm going to work on my desk. And if I get it done in 15 minutes or whatever timer I have, whatever time allotted I've given myself, then it's done. But if not, and the timer goes off and I need to move on to my next thing, I can, but, and then come back to it. So I'm going to create that list and get that done. And then the other thing to involve family. A lot of times they've just put the pressure for me to do it by myself so I could just get it done. But they really need to be involved too. That's like perfect timing. I don't know if you hear the vacuum go off in the background, but the kids are actually doing their tidying up for today while I'm doing this. So work last month, and how can I carry out these strategies into these goals? Okay, so let's do, here I think maybe we'll just write the areas I want to do. So desk area really needs to be, that's one of my top priorities. The entryway, we worked on that today. Otherwise that would have been a point. I'm just thinking of major hotspots that are huge, almost triggers, right? Like when we get in there and I'm like, oh gosh, it just, it sets me off because it's so messy. So the desk area, oh, the kitchen counters. Those I feel like always constantly need to be done, but I had started decluttering a couple of things in the kitchen and rearranging, and so that needs to be done. Kitchen counters, and then underneath it we could do, there is a couple of drawers that I wanted to look at, see if we can fix any better. Kitchen drawers, the counters. Trying to mentally walk through the house and see if there's anything else. So with the winter, this says winter entryway station, and with the winter, there's a lot more clothes than in the summer, right? So in the summer, you just, it's condensed. You don't need as much stuff. I feel like we're definitely just wearing like shorts and tank tops and things like that. But in the winter, we're wearing layers. And when we're coming in, like the kids are peeling them all off and it's coming everywhere. And then there's snow and slush and the ground is wet, not just outside, but it kind of drags in. So we need to retouch the entryway and make sure that I have a place for them to hang up wet jackets or, you know, muddy boots, things like that, that there's a place for that. Because like I said, in the summer, you just kick off your sandals. We had a little box and that was fine. We rent, so they can only do so much, but you know, it could be better. So that's that. And I think, is that the only areas that I want to touch on for now? Oh, no. I'm going to write laundry stations because we need to touch on that and get that a little bit more streamlined. There's dirty clothes that are being left everywhere. So that too. Okay, so I think that will help in regards to breaking down the goals a little bit more. And someone asked in one of my videos how I planned to declutter and to get this stuff done, like where my day was I going to find the time for that. I kind of was looking at my day and my energy and things like that for a few weeks, just kind of keeping it in my mind, like when do I have the most, when am I dragging, because I definitely don't want to schedule in cleaning and decluttering for that time when it's like that. So I had to do this little time block thing and just let myself know that it's not going to be one full day of decluttering. It's probably going to be more like 15 to 20 minutes, which is where the Fly Lady baby steps or routines come in. And so that's what I did. I just kind of looked at where my energy was going and how where I'm going to fit that in. If you're curious to like what that's going to look like, let me know and maybe I can figure out how to walk you along with me as we get it done. Okay, and I did say that I was using one square for some bills, so that's super simple. Let me get the ruler out. All I was doing was marking if it was paid. I have more than one spot for the bills, which may be hard for some people. Like it may be easier if you're like, no, just keep it in one spot. But the more places I have it, the more chances I have to see it, and you know, hopefully we get it paid, right? I mean, not hopefully, but for me, sometimes the more places I have it down, the better for my brain. It just works a little better sometimes for some people to have it written down in multiple places instead of just one. I'm pretty sure even though I'm using the ruler, I'm still getting this crooked, but that's okay. It's just, we're just getting it done. So what I'm gonna do is here would be the bill name, so like put rent, right? And then the due date, the amount. Actually, I don't want to put that amount there. I think I'm going to put the amount at the end. Here we'll put the date paid, and here we'll put the amount. Here we'll put like the rent, water, internet, that kind of thing, and the rest of the utilities can go in there. And that gives me a quick glance because they don't always, sometimes when I pay it, I'm paying it on my phone really quickly or something like that, and that gives me a chance just to mark it off whichever planner is near me. So that's how we're going to set that up. I am going to leave these for brain dumps for now. Maybe I'll use this for a little bit more of this, but that's how we're going to kind of tap into our goals for this month. So my intention was to set up the following week with you as well, but seeing as this video is already pushing 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and then I'll just make a second video out of the weekly setup. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. And as always, in case you just need to be reminded, or maybe you don't know, I'd love for you to know that you are deeply and truly loved and so, so appreciated. I really appreciate you taking your time out and spending it here with me. Thanks for watching.